Welcome back. I am Sonta and this is Upper English. In the two past episodes, we had a go at test 1, test 2, 3, and 4. And we say we are dedicating time to look at oral English because it is around the corner. In this episode, we are going to look at test 5, test 6, test 7, and we'll round it off with some advice when it comes to test 8. So test 5. Test 5 is about rhyming. We say two words are set to rhyme if their end sounds happen to be the same. But two words having the same or two words ending in the same spelling pattern is never a guarantee that they rhyme. So when it comes to rhyming, do not look at same spelling pattern, but look at same end sound. Okay? So if two words end in the same sound, it means they rhyme. So let's have a look at what you find on the question paper normally. So pet, for example, pet. That's one syllable word, pet. Okay, et. So if you have one syllable word, normally leave out the consonant at the beginning. Just you begin from the vowel. Et. Et. So here we have send. That would be end. So end and et, no rhyming. We have be, we have belt. We have eld and et, all the same. So we have set. Et and et, yes, they rhyme. And do we have rent. So end and et? No. So this is what we mean about rhyming. So two words are set to rhyme if their end sounds happen to be the same. Areas to note. We say two words ending in the same spelling pattern is not a guarantee that they rhyme. Okay? We call that one I rhyme. Example, we have W-A-T-C-H and M-A-T-C-H. You see they end in the same spelling pattern, A-M-A-T-C-H, A-T-C-H. But we have watch for W-A-T-C-H, and we have match for M-A-T-C-H. So you see arch and arch. They don't rhyme. So we call that one I rhyme. Do not depend on spelling pattern to determine rhyming. Next we have through and though. See the end in the same O-U-G-H. O-U-G-H. So we have through, oo, and we have though, o. Not the same. So please do not look at that. And for a test word with multiple syllables, meaning if a word has got multiple syllables, we have a long word that has a number of syllables, 3 or 4 syllables. We say what? Starts the rhyme from the last 2 syllables. We call last stress syllable. I don't want to talk about word stress. Okay? But if you have a word that has 3 or 4 syllables, starts to check for the rhyming from the second to last syllable onto the last syllable to know whether they rhyme. Example, we have information, information. So we have how many syllables here? Information, information, 4 syllables. And we have confirmation, confirmation. So again we have 4 syllables. So what we do, we look at the last 2 syllables and see where they rhyme. So we have what? We have mation in information. We have mation in confirmation. We call this one perfect rhyme. So you look for that always. And we have what we refer to as imperfect rhyme, meaning similar consonantal ending. Example, hold and bold. Hold, old, and bold, old. They end in the same consonant sounds. Example, LD. Say E, the yield. You see, the LD in old, the LD in bold. See, but of course, you will never speak about rhyming leaving out the vowel. And the vowel is very key. The vowel make the rhyme. So we have hold, we have old, old. Leave out the H sound. And bold, we have old. So old, old. They don't rhyme. We call that one imperfect rhyme. For one syllable word, if you have a word that is one syllable or one syllable, if you like that word, but it should be syllable. If you have a word that is one syllable in nature, we say start to check for rhyming from the vowel onto the last sound. So we have cat. Leave out the C. So the vowel is what? It's the R sound. So R on to the last sound. The last sound is the T sound. T. So cat and rat. So we have at and at in both words. We have when in W-I-N, when as in in. And we have sen as in in. And so in 2 words. So when you have a one syllable word, you only have to consider the vowel and the last sound to check whether you need the rhyme. And we come to the last idea about what to note. That is what? Rich rhyme. What is rich rhyme? 2 words sounding exactly alike but have different meanings. So we have right and right. R-I-G-H-T, right, and W-R-I-T, right. We call this one rich rhyme. So we have flower, F-L-O-W-E-R, and flower, F-L-O-U-R. So these are the areas to note when it comes to rhyming. To know whether you've understood this, again, we have past question, 5 questions to test your understanding. Here we go.
Test 5. Start at number 51. Number 51. Through. Number 52. Ale. Number 53. Hose. Number 54. Though. Number 55. Expire.
And that's it for test 5. Let us now turn to test 6. So test 6 is about emphatic stress. And we say it is an emphasis on a particular word in a sentence to stress that you mean that word and not any other word. That is what emphatic stress is about. I mean this word. I am emphasizing this word because I mean this word and I don't mean any other word. That is what emphatic stress is about, to show contrast. Let me put this one into perspective. Here we have 4 sentences. Respective words have been stressed. And let's see. I like blue shirt. I like blue shirt. So here I am stressing I to mean that it is I who like blue shirt and not any other person. We come to the other sentence where we will now shift the stress. I like blue shirt. I like blue shirt. You see, like there is the loudest of all the words. This is called emphatically stressed. I like blue shirt. It means I don't hate blue shirt. I like, meaning I like it. I don't hate it. And we shift it to blue now. I like blue shirt. I like blue shirt. And you see, blue there is the loudest of all the words. So meaning, I like blue shirt. Not green shirt or yellow, but blue shirt. See, you mean one thing and not other thing. And we are now shifting the stress onto the last word, shirt. I like blue shirts. I like blue shirts. I like blue shirts. So in this case, we are now stressing shirt, meaning I like blue shirt, and not trousers, but shirt. So we call this emphatic stress. Here are areas to note, up to 5 things to note when it comes to test 6. The first thing is this. 3 options will be given, each in a question form. 3 options per question, okay? And each option comes in a question form. That's the first thing. The second thing is that the emphatically stressed word is the loudest word in the string. So when I say, I like blue shirt, I like blue shirt, you see, blue is the emphatically stressed word there, meaning it's the loudest word of all the words in the string. I like blue shirt. Or I would say, I like blue shirt. I like blue shirt. So you should listen carefully to determine which word is being stressed. That is very important because the word, the sentence that the man or woman will read will never appear on the question paper. Your task is to listen carefully and to determine which word is being stressed. That is the second thing. The third thing is that when it is uttered, meaning when that stress word is uttered, there is slight pause before and after it. So see now when I say, I like blue shirt. I like blue shirt. So there is a pause before blue and a small pause after blue. I like blue shirt. You see, I like blue shirt. To indicate that blue is the emphatically stressed word. That is the third thing to note about test 6. The fourth thing is that the correct option lacks the stressed word but points to it. The correct option should never contain the stressed word. So in this case, I stress blue. The correct option must not contain blue, but should point to blue. And the last and final thing to note is that all words except the stressed word in the sentence uttered by the speaker should remain intact in the correct option. The correct option should contain all the words uttered by the speaker except the stressed word. So when I say, I like blue shirt, I like blue shirt. So in the correct option, you must have I, you must have, for example, like, you must have shirt, but you must never have what? Blue. So if you have a sentence that distorts the originality of this, let's say if I have an option that says, I like or I hate green shirt, then that sentence is obscured, meaning that sentence is far from being correct for how many reasons? For 2 reasons. One, it has a word that is not part of the original sentence uttered by the man or woman, meaning which one? Hate. And secondly, we'll say, if I say I hate blue shirt, in this case containing blue being the stress word. Now, let me use this first question to guide you through, and you will use the remaining 4 for your classwork. So here we have, Saidu's father is a politician. Saidu's father is a politician. So here, Saidu's is being stressed. Normally, as I've told you, you will never find the sentence, the man or woman, as uttered in the question paper. Your task is to listen carefully to that sentence and look for what? For two things. One, for the stress word, and to have in mind the words that belong to that sentence that the man or woman has uttered. So Sedu's father is a politician. So we have Sedu, father is a politician, and the stress word there is Sedu, meaning is the loudest. Sedu's father is a politician, meaning I mean Sedu and not any other person. So let's see. Option A, is Kebi's father a politician? Well, let's see. And here, of course, we don't have Sedu. We have father here. We have politician. This might be the answer, but let us look at the remaining two and to fine-tune. We say the correct option must never contain the stress word. B, we have, is Sedu's mother a politician? This one is problematic for two reasons. One, it contains the stress word, meaning Sedu. We say the stress word should never appear in the correct option. So it is there. It is wrong for that reason. The second reason why it is wrong, it contains mother. Mother is not part of the sentence that the man or woman utters. So B is wrong for two reasons. C, is Sedu's father a medical practitioner? Well, it's wrong for how many reasons? For again, two reasons. One, it contains Sedu, the stress word, and number two, it has medical practitioner, which is not part of the sentence uttered by the man or woman. In this case, it is not part of our original sentence. Sedu's father is a politician. So, of course, we say the correct answer is what? Is A. Is Kebi's father a politician? No. It's what? Sedu. So, we say the correct option what? Should not contain the stress word and should point to the stress word. So, here it didn't contain the stress word, but what? It points to it. And number two, of course, all other words except the stress word, all other words are intact. So this is how to respond to questions on test 6. So you will have to do the remaining 4. Again, we have here 5 questions. I've already done the first one for you. Look at the remaining 4.
Test 6. In the test which follows, you will hear only the answer. The questions will not be read. Start at number 63. Number 63. Seidu's father is a politician. Number 64. Fatu's outfit is purple. Number 65. Mr. Njai teaches biology. Number 66. The nurses organized the peaceful demonstration. Number 67, the senior teacher conducted the assembly yesterday.
And that's it for test 6. So test 6 is indeed about emphatic stress, and where one word is stress, to mean that we mean that word and not any other word. So we now turn to test 7. Test 7 is about intonation, meaning the music of a language. Intonation is the music of a language. It's about how our voice goes up or down over the course of an utterance. Okay? So we speak about 2 intonation patterns. The rising and falling pattern. When our voice rises towards the end of a thought group, we call it rising pattern. If it falls towards the end of a thought group, we call it what? Falling pattern. Let me give an example. I am okay. I am okay. Okay. See, towards the end, my voice rises. I am okay. Okay. But if I say, I am okay, I am okay, I am okay, it falls. So two key intonation patterns, rising pattern and of course falling pattern. So areas to note. The rising pattern. When our voice rises towards the end of a thought group, these are what it communicates depending on the context. It often communicates doubtfulness, that you are doubtful, well, depending on the context, or that you are polite in some regard. For example, if I say, Abu is doing well, see, Abu is doing well, it falls. So if I say, Abu is doing well, Abu is doing well, see, Abu is doing well. So Abu is doing well, I'm expressing doubtfulness. Or if somebody says, Abu is doing well, and you have a respondent who says, I think so, it rises, meaning what? The person is expressing doubt about the fact that, or the claim that Abu is doing well. You see? So in this context, we are thinking about what? Doubtfulness. And what about the context where the rising intonation will imply politeness? Let me give you an example. Get ready. I'm coming. Someone says, please get ready. And we have someone responding to that one saying, I'm coming. I'm coming. You see, if you say, I'm coming, you see, the voice is very flat and is very firm. And in most cases, what? That will speak to what? To rudeness, or we speak to what? Impoliteness. So I'm coming. So the context will tell you whether the rising intonation is about doubtfulness or is about politeness. What about the falling pattern? So the falling pattern communicates completion, certainty, concurrent, that means you agree, and sometimes impoliteness. You see, if I say, the man is doing well, see, and somebody answers, yes, he is. You see, the man is doing well, that voice falls, that person is certain, and the one who answers, yes, he is. Again, the respondent is what? Or the responder in this case, what? Is also certain. You see? So, when the voice falls, it can communicate a number of things. If I say, hurry up, we are getting late, and somebody says, I am coming. You see, it falls. In this context, it is pointing to impoliteness. So you've got to understand that, when falling pattern will mean certainty, will mean agreement, will mean impoliteness. That's very key to bear in mind. To put this into perspective, again, we have here 5 questions that you have to go through to check your understanding. And it's almost always about one being sure, one being doubtful, one being what? Polite, one being impolite. That is very essential. So look at these questions.
Test 7. Start at number 81. Number 81.
That's a lovely dress she's wearing.
It is. Number 82. Mr. Pratt has just bought the brown house.
He has.
Number 83. Pass the butter.
Here you are.
Number 84.
What's that cyclist?
I am. Number 85.
The election campaign is quite interesting.
You think so?
So that's it for test 7. which indeed is about intonation. And to round this off, we'll speak about test 8. Test 8 is about narrative, it's about conversation and narrative. You have 2 questions, and of course on conversation, and of course 2 questions on narrative. So on conversation, the man and the woman will be conversing about a given topic, anything around the world. You've got to understand what they are talking about. For narrative, a given story will be narrated.